Hello, I'm Miss Danielle from the Grimshaw Municipal Library, and I'm here with another featured creature for you. Um, this month we are doing something called a narwhal, and they are part of the marine family. And you're in your kits this month, you're going to find this information sheet that tells some pretty cool facts about them, like their tusk can grow up to 10 feet long, and it's actually a canine tooth that grows through their lip. And there's some other neat facts on here as well. On the other side of your sheet, you can kind of find a coloring page and some more information about them. Also in your kit, you're going to find a needle that will be stuck to a piece of paper so no one will get poked. You're going to find some gray yarn and some black yarn and some brown yarn. You're also going to find a piece of canvas that is about 26 by 30. And when I'm saying 26 by 30, I'm talking about these little squares. Okay, so this is what we're going to make. So we are doing needlework this time. Okay, so, and then this here is the instructions on how to make your narwhal. So wherever there's black is you done with your black yarn, and that's pretty much the outline. And then the blue is done with the gray yarn, and the brown will be here where the yellow is. Okay. So to start with, we're gonna start at the corner of.
At the bottom right corner of the pattern.
Yes, the bottom right corner.
Okay.
So when I threaded my needle, I sometimes have a hard time getting it in the little eye, so I just put a little bit of tape on it so I could thread it easier. If you choose to do that, once it's threaded, you just need to pull your tape off. Okay, so I'm starting. There we go. So I'm going to start on this one. So I'm starting down here. So what I'm going to do.
Danielle, can you bring it closer to the table?
Like
What you're working on.
Oh,
closer to the table.
like this?
Yeah,
okay.
Just like that. Thank you.
Sure. Okay. So I'm going to go in at the corner here.
What if I feel like starting in the middle of the plastic?
If you choose to start in the middle of the plastic, your narwhal will not fit on here. It's really important that you start in this corner because, as you can see, you only have this much space left over. So if you started over here, your narwhal will lose that much of its face.
Okay.
Okay, so we're starting in this corner. I've gone through with my yarn, and I'm going to hold a tail back there. See, like that? I'm going to hold its tail. And now I'm going to go into the bottom square and pull it through. Okay. And then I'm going to go in through the top square here again. And I'm going over this yarn, this tail, and I keep pulling it, and now it's secure.
Very sneaky.
And then you go in the bottom again. Now, I would count here. I need to do that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So I've done 1, 2. Now I'm going to do 3, 4, 5. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times. Okay. Then it shows that we're going to go up to the next level, and we need to do 1, 2. So I'm just going to go right above this square and go 1, 2. And you just keep doing that until your whole narwhal is done. and it'll look like this. So this is basically, this line here is right there, and then the 2 is right there. And you just keep going. When you run out of thread on your needle, you just take your your needle and just run it back through like this. This is obviously a really big piece, but pretend I was at the end. You'd run it back through like that, and you just give it a nip, and you would start your next thread.
So we don't want to tie knots in the back of the plastic canvas.
No. This is what the back of mine looks like.
Well, that's not super messy.
Not super messy.
But I think if you tie knots,
they might pull through. If you don't get your knot tight enough, they might pull through the canvas.
And then I'm thinking about what happens after the picture is done. You might want to do something with the picture. That would be a problem if there was knots.
So I'm gonna cut this out, and so when you're cutting your narwhal out, you want to make sure that you're leaving a good plastic line in between. I don't know if that makes sense. So,
well, I think if you cut too close to the yarn, and that's where some of your knots might be, then it wouldn't hold anymore. So you just want to trim the edges of the plastic away from the narwhal, but not so close that you would end up actually cutting the narwhal.
So if you just look at, I'll just do this little bit, and then we'll be done. So you can see how I've made sure that I did not cut on this side of that line, but I cut on this side of the line.
It leaves a nice little border for him, but again, if you didn't have your yarn anchored and if you had knots on it, then you might end up cutting away some of that, which is why it's always important to anchor your yarn and make sure that it's holding in place so that your narwhal doesn't come unraveled.
Yes. So once you guys have made your narwhal, we would love to see pictures of them. So you could email them to the library. You could put them up on our Facebook page.
You could bring your completed narwhal to the library to show us, and then if you have permission, we would love to take a picture of you with your narwhal too.
Yes.
Just because it's very interesting to see how everybody's creatures turn out just a little bit differently.
So enjoy making your narwhal. Bye.